broke into my house and stole it.
There we go. Okay. So we're here with Sparkle and her beautiful twins, Kiara and Kiara. Hi. Okay, Sparkle, give me a background of Kiara's condition.
This is Kiara, and she has epilepsy.
Okay.
So she suffers with the type of seizures that she has are called focal seizures.
Okay.
And so it can range from convulsions to just staring, looking like she's daydreaming, and then obviously being completely out of it and going into a seizure state. But it's something that is not necessarily curable, and she suffered with it since she was 2 years old. She was not diagnosed when I first had her, and so they did not diagnose her while I was at the hospital. We learned later, like I said, when she was 2, that my child suffered with seizures. But she's on daily medication for it, and without her medication, she's at risk for seizures. So she has to have daily medication to control her seizures.
Okay, what does the medication have any kind of effects on her as far as if it's too severe that you have to keep her out of school or?
Well, the medicines vary. I did have her on, they started her off on one medication that was really good with controlling her seizures, but the side effects to that were just a lot of energy, mood changes, and it led to behavior problems whenever she wasn't around me or somebody that she knew, like in school. You know, it was hard for her to stay in school a full day because she just could not sit still. It makes her very, very hard to deal with for whatever reason. And even on the medication side effects, it says that it can cause children to taunt others, which leads to problems because she will try to do malicious stuff like pinch her brothers and sisters when nobody is looking, you know, for no reason, or hit other children, you know, for no reason. So it doesn't allow her to play good with other kids a lot of times without close supervision. But other than that, I haven't really noticed a lot of side effects from that medication. Now, I did just switch her because of that behavior problem and that side effect. We did just switch her a few months ago, and as of now, I haven't seen the type of behavior from this medication that I did notice that the other medication was causing her. But just with the epilepsy in general, for Kiara, if she gets a cold or she gets a virus like diarrhea or something, or any type of bacteria infection or something, it can lead to a fever, and fevers always lead to seizures. So it's definitely a problem in that, you know, when she gets sick, it takes time for her to recover, and I have to keep her out of school. You know, it can vary from 1 day to a week. Sometimes she has to be hospitalized. I think the most she's ever been hospitalized was a month. And it really just depends on the severity of the seizure. So it can just vary.
So how is it with you having twins in school? How is she in her school setting?
Well, it's very, very difficult because although they're twins and she's in the same grade, because, not necessarily because of the epilepsy, but Kiara was just born with a developmental delay. So not only does she have epilepsy, she has developmental delay, which, because she's getting older, I think they kind of convert that into autism. So it just, it doesn't allow her to be in a general education class, a regular general education class like her twin sister. She's in a special education class, and it is self-contained classroom, meaning that there's normally not more than like 5 or 6 students in the classroom. And so, you know, that's the huge difference when you're dealing with a child that is in self-contained as opposed to somebody that's in general ed. Is difficult for me to just hire a regular babysitter. I normally have to get somebody that's certified, not only in CPR, but that's trained in being able to recognize stopping seizures, as well as being able to react if something happened, emergency, etc. She can't just stay after school in regular after school programs. She can't go to regular clubs. She can't do cheerleading. She can't join, regular organizations that I allow my other daughter to join, social clubs, etc. because of her illness and her inability to communicate on her level. Come here and sit down. Come over here, son. Kiara, sit down. She's coming.
Okay, so in her social settings, you mentioned she can't do normal kid activities. Is there any time that you have to separate them, like if Kiara wanted to go to a friend's house and sleep over stuff or parties? Like, how does that go with having twins?
For the most part, so far, I've been able to keep them together, and outside of social clubs at school or cheerleading or something, those are the activities that I do allow them to be separated in, because Kiara, because of her delayed, her developmental delay, she's not able to, perform. She wouldn't be able to perform in cheerleading and etc. And she definitely does not or isn't able to comprehend or understand things as a child her age. So in those cases, I do separate her down.